Hello everyone! Today we have a visual comparison of the cameras of two devices. These are the basic Realme 16 and its older sibling, the Realme 16 Pro Plus. Let's first take a look at the dry specifications, but I'll try to explain them so you can understand what you're actually paying for. The regular Realme 16 is equipped with a classic budget dual camera. The main sensor here is 50 megapixels. And its biggest drawback is that it lacks advanced optical stabilization. And the sensor itself is rather modest in size. What does this mean for you? If your hand shakes even a little or the lighting gets worse, you'll end up with a blurry shot, and there's no optical zoom either. If you want zoom, the phone will simply crop a part of the image and stretch it, turning it into a blurry mess. Now let's take a look at its older brother, the Realme 16 Pro Plus. Here the engineers really went all out. The main module is 200 megapixels with full optical stabilization. The image will be sharp even if you're shooting on the run or have a slight tremor after 3 cups of coffee, for example. But the real star here is a separate 50 megapixel periscope telephoto lens with 3.5 times optical zoom. This isn't digital cropping, it's physical magnification thanks to the lens construction inside the body. And as the cherry on top, there's an ultra wide angle 8 megapixel lens so you can fit everything your eyes see into the frame. Well, the specs on paper look like a total blowout compared to the base model. Let's move on to a visual test. I'll show you where the difference is barely noticeable and where the Pro Plus literally destroys the base model. Alright, let's take a look. Let's start with probably the toughest test. That's the zoom. Here, we'll immediately set the record straight. On the left side, we simply have the Realme 16.2 and on the right, the 16 model. Here we have a beautiful historic building with a bas-relief of Lebanon and the main entrance, which is exactly what I was aiming at. The overall shots are almost identical unless you look closely. This is already 2 times zoom. At first glance, both shots look absolutely fine as well. Maybe the Pro just has slightly nicer colors. The brick looks deeper, but overall it's acceptable. There you go. And, well, now let's do what we all do. When we want to look at the details, we turn on the maximum zoom and zoom in on the lion's head itself. Here we have 3.5 times zoom. And here you can already see a huge difference. First of all, it's already harder on the base model to actually get the lion's head in the frame to focus somehow. In general, to keep the head in the center of the shot. There you go. On the left, we have the base model, Realme 16. And I wouldn't say it's terrible, but overall, compared to the Pro version, you could really say it's awful. It really is. Awful, guys. The image just turned into a blur. Because the phone doesn't have optical zoom, its algorithms tried to artificially fill in some pixels. As a result, the entire texture of the old stone turned into some kind of incomprehensible watercolor smudge. The lion's mouth is blurred. Well, compared to the Pro version, we can see it. There you go. Yeah, exactly. A ton of artifacts, digital noise, sorry. Well, this is a classic example of why digital zoom is bad. And now let's take a look at the right side of the screen. Again, here we have the Pro Plus, and it's awesome. It's really cool. Oh wait, this is still only 3.5 times, and this is already 10 times. And here too, we can see a huge difference. Let's keep looking. This is 30 times, and of course there's a difference. Oh, it's obvious. Here you can see all the details. We can examine every little pore on the stone, every grain of sand. Yes, we can see chips from age, some images. It really feels like I climbed up with a ladder and took a close-up photo of this lion with a professional DSLR. Well, almost. There you go. If you travel often and generally like taking photos of architecture, signs and so on, then of course the basic Realme loses out, and by quite a lot. Let's move on. Here we have portrait mode. This is portrait mode. And here too we can already see the difference. On the left we have a shot from the regular Realme 16 and on the right the Pro Plus. It seems that both smartphones blurred the background quite well. The cars in the background have turned into a nice bokeh effect. But let's take a closer look at the details. Because that's exactly where the catch is. The basic Realme relies heavily on its enhancement algorithms. Look at the skin, it actually looks almost natural, to be honest. Generally speaking, everything seems to be working out quite well for us right now. Beauty filter. There wasn't any here, so overall it looks normal. It's not smoothed out, nothing is blurred, you can see the pores and so on. So the face looks three-dimensional, it seems like the volume isn't lost, everything seems fine. There are some shadows as well. Of course, here it's software-based blur. Here we can look at the outline. It blurs right along the hairline. Alright, these little hairs are sticking out, but here, right along the outline, we can see it overlaps. That's definitely a downside. Now let's take a look at the Pro model. Here the skin also looks pretty good overall. Quite decent. So what? Of course, the processor here is more powerful, and because of that, the processing is definitely on another level. The photo, well, overall I can't say it's more lively, but maybe, yes, thanks to some of the colors. Maybe I just forgot to wipe it. The camera on the base model, well, it seems like I didn't forget. There you go. Overall, the texture of the hair, eyebrows, eyes, everything looks great. Everything looks pretty good. About the blurring, as we can see, here are my stray hairs sticking out. Nothing got blurred, which is cool. So it does this much better, more cinematically you could say. The transition from the subject to the background is smooth. Here too, overall. Well, the outlines are better here. Of course, it doesn't overlap onto the actual head. There you go. So it creates the right sense of depth of field. Yeah. In other words, it's a completely different level. You can see it. I actually like the previous one more, of course. Just saying. Well, let's move on. Let's take a look at macro photography. The only problem is I didn't take a macro photo on the basic lens at all. Why? Because there's no mode for it. Macro. But here on the Pro version, I specifically used the macro mode for shooting. And of course, here we can already see and notice the difference that this mode makes. There you go. These are also different magnifications. This I think is 10 times macro, this is 3.5, and this one is 2, I believe. But the macro is excellent, you can see the details, it's really cool, I really like it. It was easy and pleasant to take this photo. And well, you can also see that the background is blurred in a very soft, even bokeh without any harsh digital outlines. Basically, the Realme 16 simply wouldn't be able to do this, simply because it doesn't have a macro mode. Now let's go back to the very beginning. I don't really know why I started with the zoom, but that's just the way I decided to go. It's just a regular shot. This is just an ordinary street. In good sunlight, you'd need a magnifying glass to spot the difference here. Honestly, because both photos are good. They capture the texture of the red brick perfectly, the white balance is set similarly, and the image is bright and vibrant. The dynamic range is wide, the sky isn't overexposed, and the shadows aren't completely blacked out. And if your goal is simply to share a photo of a beautiful street, say in a family chat, then the regular one will do. The Realme handles it really well. But there's a nuance. Remember, I mentioned, or maybe I didn't mention it, about the wide angle lens. The regular Realme just doesn't have it, so of course it loses out in this regard. The Pro Plus has it. Here you can see a wide angle photo. The regular Realme just doesn't have this. That's it. So yes. Oh, and wait, we also have, I also captured a really stunning photograph in incredibly high resolution. Here, these are both photos, 50 megapixels. And overall, the photos are also pretty good. Quite good. You can see the bricks there, you can make them out, everything's fine. There really aren't any complaints. Well, maybe it's a bit better on the Pro, but the Pro also has 200. Oh, of course, I just noticed how I took a picture of it. But this should be a photo. 200 megapixels. Sorry for the poor example. And now let's move on to video. I recorded a video. We'll watch them at the same time. The first and the second. Both videos are in 1080p, 60 fps. We can see here that it's just plain and simple, the same stabilization. On the Pierrot, stabilization is much better than on the base model. Well, overall, I wouldn't say the quality is very different, but in terms of stabilization, yes, the Pro definitely wins here. So what's our conclusion? The regular Realme is a good everyday smartphone. If you take photos once a week, don't use zoom, don't shoot portraits, or if you don't shoot professionally at all. If you only need the camera for some utilitarian tasks like photographing documents, utility meters, or I don't know, a group photo on the beach in bright sunlight, it will be more than enough for you. You'll get an excellent device and save your budget. But if you want to move, for example, towards mobile photography, if it's your hobby and so on, then of course it's better to choose the Realme 16 Pro Plus. That is, in this regard, it's worth every extra penny you pay, and its periscope lens and 200 megapixel sensor with stabilization take photography to a completely different level. So you can write in the comments what you think about these two devices and their cameras, and that's all. Thank you for watching, leave a like and subscribe to our channel.